everybody, to another issue of European Rotors, the digital series. We bring together the major players in the VTOL scene this year for the first time in Madrid from the 27th to the 30th of November. We have powerful helicopters and VTOL concepts for our visitors. And of the core of power, it is, no spoiler, the engine. So I'm delighted to speak to one of the power providers today, means an engine manufacturer, Pratt & Whitney. As always, let's first have a hi and welcome to my interview partner. Hi, Ryan. Great to have your short introduction from your end, please.
Thanks, Frank. Appreciate the opportunity. The whole team is really looking forward to the show. In fact, this is going to be my first attendance at European Rotors. Now, I've been with Pratt for more than 17 years, but primarily that's been in the general aviation fixed wing segment, both in the customer service and marketing and sales departments. And the last 18 months, I was executive assistant to the president. And now I'm back in the business and as the director of helicopter customer programs. So I'm looking very much forward to this event to learn about the segment more. My team is responsible for the global fleet of Pratt Canada powered helicopters, both from a technical and commercial angle. And I'm passionate about all things aviation. If it flies, I love it. And I'm proud to support all the critical missions on the aircraft that we power.
Thanks. Great introduction, Ryan. If it flies, we have it. It reminds me of my fish store here in Munich on my vegetables market. They say if it swims, we have it. So very capable, very similar. Yeah, well, if it flies, you have it. Of course, you have powerful engines. I mean, we all know Pratt & Whitney. However, let us have a little bit more insight on the company and the whole bandwidth of activities.
Absolutely. So, Frank, as you might know, Pratt & Whitney is comprised of three divisions: commercial engines, military engines, and of course, Pratt Canada. And we focus on the smaller turbine engines, generally less than about 20,000 pounds of thrust. And in that portfolio of aircraft engines, we have helicopters, business jets, general aviation, regional aircraft, and APUs. We've produced more than 110,000 engines. 66,000 of those are still in service with about 16,000 customers. And it takes quite the ecosystem to take care of those customers. Our service network has over 50 owned and designated facilities globally. And specifically in Europe, we've got several MRO facilities to support our helicopter customers. Those include presence in the UK, Germany, and most recently actually in Spain. And 2023, Frank, this is a very special year for us. We're celebrating 1 billion hours on our global fleet of aircraft. We're also celebrating the 60th anniversary of our venerable PT6 engine, which powers both helicopter and fixed wing aircraft and is responsible for about half of those billion hours. The PT6, as you may know, it's ubiquitous. It's got over 155 different aircraft applications over the years. And I've got an interesting fact for you. The first aircraft which flew solely on PT6 power was in fact a helicopter, a Hiller 1099. In the early days of development, we were switching between helicopters and fixed wing applications as we adapted to the market and the different opportunities. And it remains unmatched in its performance, reliability, and dispatch availability. Every new generation, we bring new things to the engine, breakthrough achievements in performance, control systems, data intelligence. Started at 500 horsepower, now we're at almost 2,000. 50% better power to weight, we consume 20% less fuel, all within that same 19-inch diameter envelope. And since the launch of the first PT6 turboshaft engine, which now includes the PT6B, C, and T, we've added the PW200 and the PW210. And they've been powering an increasingly diverse set of helicopter missions. Those include humanitarian, helicopter emergency medical services, search and rescue, disaster relief, law enforcement, oil and gas, VIP, security and defense, offshore wind farm and power line maintenance, and increasingly these days, firefighting and natural resource protection. So for the helicopter segment, we've delivered over 18,500 engines, 76 million flying hours, with about 10,700 helicopters still in service. Roughly a third of those are in service with our European operators, which count about 360. So I'm proud to say we're the industry leader in the light, medium, and intermediate twin segments for helicopters. We power some of the most popular twin-engine helicopters in the industry: the Airbus helicopters H135 with our 206B family, the Bell 429, 207D1 family, the Leonardo AW139 with our C67C, and that one by itself has over 8 million flying hours, and the Bell 412 EPX with our twin pack. That one has over 48 million flying hours. The bottom line, Frank, every second a Pratt Whitney Canada powered aircraft takes off, and we're very proud of all of our employees worldwide that make that possible.
Fantastic overview of Ryan. Thank you so much. 1 billion here, 20,000 there. It's impressive. Every second, Pratt and Whitney machine engines taking off. So we are flying from Europe, Cologne to Europe, Madrid, Spain, but it's a different country. It's a different market for you. Is there anything which you can tell us on recent development, recent successes potentially in that region?
Yeah, absolutely, Frank. And of particular interest, given the location of the conference this year, as you mentioned, in 2022, we announced that our 206B3 engines had been selected by the government of Spain to power 36 Airbus H135s. This is part of a multi-agency acquisition program to equip the Spanish Air Force, the Spanish Navy, the Guardia Civil, and the National Police to upgrade their capabilities with the latest generation light twin helicopter. The Spanish Air Force took delivery of their first aircraft in May of this year, and the Navy has taken its first H-135 just last month in October. In terms of some other recent announcements for the helicopter engine portfolio, as part of our efforts to reduce costs for our customers, we announced earlier this year we're adding a new parts package for the PT6 T3 reduction gearboxes to our Smart line of products. So this is a flat rate parts package, includes new major assembly parts replaced during scheduled reduction gearbox clutch inspections at a discounted price. It allows customers to extend the useful life of their engines and aircraft at a reasonable cost. Also this year, we introduced new remote maintenance kits for customers enrolled on our Eagle Service Plan, or ESP, pay-per-hour maintenance solution. That kit is comprised of selected parts and tooling for engines to help support aircraft availability and maintenance autonomy. So both those products reflect our efforts to serve our customers at all stages of the aircraft and engine's life cycle. We're always looking for tailored solutions to meet every individual operator's operational and financial situation. That same mindset has led us to develop a variety of spare engine leasing options, including short and long-term leasing, on-wing leasing, and lease-to-own. So it helps match the situation that some operators are conserving their cash and their capital expenditures by leasing an aircraft rather than buying them outright. So engine leasing options help them match their power plants to the varying profile of their aircraft fleets. And lastly, Frank, I wanted to mention another great milestone for Pratt Canada this year. We certified our 200th engine since the first PT6 in 1963. And this is a remarkable feat that no other engine original equipment manufacturer has ever achieved. And that represents decades of investment, not just money, but the thousands of people, the many generations of Pratt Canada employees that have worked together over the years, designed, manufactured, and supported that diverse product portfolio. And of course, it represents all the customers that put them on airframes, took them into service, and have put them to work in many of those critical missions that we spoke of earlier.
Thank you, Ryan, for that. Especially MRO and keeping the cash flow with all the operators is key to success after COVID, after some challenging years. But challenges remain. As you know, the whole industry is forced to become more sustainable. We're going to hold a sustainability day over this edition of European Rotors, organized and moderated by our EHA chairman, Christian Müller. And I guess Pratt & Whitney will also contribute to this one because it's of major importance for us all to become more sustainable.
Yes, absolutely. Pratt Canada, we're a leader in sustainable propulsion. We're committed to the industry and our customers' goal of net zero by 2050. And not to spoil everything that's going to be discussed at this great sustainability day, but all of our engines are ready to operate with 50% SAF blends today, or sustainable aviation fuel. We also have comprehensive engine testing programs in place in anticipation of 100% SAF specifications, which we're directly involved in defining through industry groups. That's going to be key to minimize our future emissions. So as you mentioned, with the Sustainability Day on November 29th, my colleague, David Meisels, is going to be hosting a keynote at 10:30 a.m. That's going to be a great immersive session, and he's going to go further into our sustainability innovations and greener technologies.
Thanks for that contribution, Ryan. Very much appreciated. 50% SAF, that's amazing, and that's what we need. So you contribute with a keynote, but I think it's no spoiler that you also be part of our great floor where we have all the exhibitors. So Pratt & Whitney will have, again, a booth there. What is what would you say is attracting people to come to the booth and have a chat with you?
Well, Frank, first and foremost, it's to meet our global team of passionate professionals. We love hearing from our customers, whether that's to talk through an issue, hear about your operations, or just geek out with me on the wonderful world of aviation. Building relationships ultimately is the priority of the show. We'd love to shake your hand, say thank you, right, for helping us achieve that 1 billion hours we talked about. We'd also love to take a photo with you and commemorate that milestone year. The team is there to advise you on the best products and services to meet your needs, whether that's proactive engine health monitoring, maintenance management, evaluating borescope results, engine repairs, restoration, training, tech pubs, warranties. We've got a solution that's right to you. And I think it's important to mention that we have a cocktail party at the booth, 4 p.m. on Tuesday, and everybody is welcome, no matter which direction your rotor is spinning.
You already got me. Thanks for the invitation. Delighted to be there when the show closes by 5 p.m. because then the first day will be sad. It's always a little bit of a challenge to especially achieve good results on the first day. But Mary, thank you so much for the invitation. I'm sure everybody else will join you. Hey, Ryan, thanks for all these insights. Thanks for being with us over the next edition of European Rotors from the 27th November to the 30th of November, actually tomorrow. So safe travels, I could say. Thanks for this interview and see you soon in Madrid. Thanks, Ryan. Bye.
Thank you, Frank.